We now bring you back to our show, already in progress.
Yeah.
We're going to fast forward. Bad boy in the shiny
Molded
suit
me.
Era.
Puff molded me.
All right. We had an argument once.
Yeah.
We're going to fast forward.
No. Let's stay in the beginning. I like the beginning.
From the beginning, well, this was still in the beginning.
Yeah.
This was still, what was it? Big Chain Justin?
Jesus Peace
Jesus Peace Justin.
Jesus Peace Justin.
Mickey brought me to Trenton, introduced me to his jeweler. I spent all the money that I made at pizza. I bought a Jesus
Yo,
Peace.
shout out to that Jesus Peace.
Yeah.
That Jesus Peace made me look dumb fresh.
Yo, every time I come home, I'm like, where's my Jesus Peace? My brother, my mom would be like, Machito got it. I'm like, damn.
Heavy.
Yeah.
The whole family was dripping.
Damn, bro. We spoke off air of how we have mirrored families.
Yep. Right.
You know what
Facts.
I'm saying? Like, so I think
We
back
speak
to
for many Northeast Puerto Ricans and Dominicans.
I
They
think
may have the
back
same
to having the
families.
Jesus piece
That
and finding out that Taina would wear my shit, yo.
For real?
And I would leave it in the crib. She'll be out.
Should be out at school
hanging
with
out
all
with the
this shit.
fucking Jesus piece.
But you want? I'm sorry.
Are
I'm
you
so-
serious? Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry to jump back, but it was revenge for when my brother would leave the crib, and my mom would give me the key to his room because I would always sneak in his room. And no lie, bro.
And rob the CDs?
No, I would play his albums.
Uh-huh.
Like I was just trying to be him, bro. I would play his albums, and then I would go in the mirror and put his sweaters on, and like I would play Machito. I would be looking at.
Remember when Macy's was the wave? For us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
right.
copping $200 sweaters,
Yeah.
Polo, baby.
you know. And I had a closet, full of that type of gear. And then come find out, he put it on and shit like that.
Yeah,
rock
that's
it the
what
whole
the
time.
youngest siblings do.
A cream that my brother had a cream. I never forget a cream color. Me and my brother are not the tallest guys. We got that from our mom. So the Nautica
And
sweater.
shout out to Mom, dude.
The Nautica sweater is.
What up? Shout out to mom.
Shout out to moms.
Yes.
The healing component, the true backbone of all fucking dysfunctional.
Shout out to Mama Nancy's rice. If y'all
Oh
don't know,
my
then you
God.
just don't know. But if you do
That's a
know,
Nardwar. That's a Nardwar.
Yeah.
He just did a Nardwar on me.
the most banging rice. But go ahead.
So his Nautica sweaters had really long sleeves, and I was small, but I used to wear them in the house, and like my mom would just let me rock. Like it's like the equivalent of like a little girl wearing her sister's heels or some shit. And my mom would let me rock, whatever. I'll be like walking around. She'd be like, "You really feel cool." Like I'd be like, "Let me know when Machito comes." Like we'll hear his car before he parks it. You can hear it. So one time I dirtied the cream Nautica with the big boat from shoulder to the bottom hip. Remember that one? And I spilled something on it. And shout out to my mom. She got rid of the sweater because the stain was so crazy. She threw it out for me.
Wow.
This dude has so many fire sweaters that he didn't even realize that it was missing from his rotation. And today's the day I tell him.
Damn, that's two exclusives on today's episode.
Now think about it.
Mommy was like, "Yo, you're gonna came a hole in your chest if he finds out." Yeah.
And niggas like, yo,
Now that I think about it, what did happen to that
That's
sweater?
when I started working. My father gave me $300, right? To got a little older and shit. I say about a senior in high school.
Yeah, I was like
He hit me
11.
with like
yeah.
$300, right? He was like, "Hey, this for school shopping." I said, "I bet I take $300." Nigga, I went to Macy's. I came home with 2 sweaters and a fucking
And a pair of pants.
Yo, he's like, "Let me see your school clothes." I was like, "Oh, you gotta check this out. It's fire."
Yeah.
Yo, I had this shit laid out in the bed and everything. You know what I mean?
The whole shit, everything.
You know that
All three items.
All three items.
If you know that vibe, man.
All two outfits.
Looking at that shit like, yo, I'm gonna be stunting hard.
with the tags on them.
Oh, they right there. Nigga, they right there.
Flipping the bolsa like, "Yo, where's everything?"
Yeah, where's the rest?
Yo, not only that nigga smacked the shit out of me, he was like, "Yo, my man, I hope you gonna wear that shit for the rest of the
Every day?
because I'm not gonna give you no more money." I'm like, "Oh fuck,
I fucked up.
I gotta go start working." I was working at a car wash.
So my brother wearing my Jesus piece at this is 17. This is when I was the age that he was at when I was stealing his sweaters. That was when I got the Jesus piece that Mickey took me to try to buy.
payback.
But that was payback. My brother was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I'm wearing this shit."
Well deserved.
And to get it back was like Debo levels.
Oh wow.
Like, yo, mommy, what she look at my?
She was mad at
She's like, your father's wearing it now. I'm like, oh,
Chain days.
Yeah, of course. I'm telling you.
He's like, you know, I wouldn't trip.
no lie. I can say it now because I don't wear jewelry like that no more. It was a $6,000 chain at that time.
Yeah. And that, like Brother Chi just said, that was the era of I rock 40-inch cables, my piece bang glass
we
table.
all had that shit. I remember I had the 40-inch,
Hell
the
yeah.
40-inch joint with the big ass medallion on it and shit.
Shout out to Spencer, actually R.I.P. Spencer from West New York. Saved my life. I almost got robbed at the White Castle in
no, Burgerland?
yeah.
No
And
shit.
Spencer from 60th saved me, bro.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
He was like, yo, that's Lil Justin. He was like, yo, get the fuck, and just like backed everybody down, and I was like frozen. And I left my chain.
That he was like that's little Justin.
Yeah, because that was West New York me. I ran my
you
credit.
developed, yeah,
a little bit, but they knew who my brother was. But I got my own.
You got some cred.
Yeah. But it was more like save him. He might make it out of here. It was more, you know what I mean? It wasn't like he put in work. It was like
yeah. No, but a lot of times the most hood cats. You know what I'm saying?
You looking out for the hood.
They look out for the ones that have the potential to make it out.
So if you come from where we come from, right? I'm meaning our community, which was 4-7. That was our block, right?
Yep.
I said it earlier. Shout out to the G's like Kabul, Traz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These dudes, you know, took him. All right. Now we all doing our dirt out there. He was one that nobody let anybody do anything to.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'll give you a real quick story. He just started going to West New York, right?
Yep.
So I get a call.
Rival town.
I get a call from somebody. Like, yo, they going to jump your brother after school.
Yep.
Okay? They going to jump my brother. Yeah, they going to jump your brother after school. Went right to the block. Got the old heads. When I tell you West New York High School, we surrounded West New York High School from corner
It was like the Avenger of OGs.
Okay? Everybody on the corner
They
like
popped
this.
up in the time.
Yo, whoever was in a group was removed immediately. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it wasn't that, you know, it was all this respect. It was just that they knew Justin. They know Justin wasn't one going to start fights and do shit like that. So, you know, that's the kind of shell that he was. And thankfully, like,
absolutely.
I see them to this day, and the first thing is like, yo, how your little brother doing, man? I heard he doing good. That's what's up. Because
that's the genuine love.
that's what everybody wanted. Everybody was like, nah, he ain't tainted.
like when we came in with Fifi.
Yeah, he ain't tainted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let him live and
Let's
shit.
let this little nigga live. He don't got to do what we doing.
Yeah.
And you know, and that just comes from, you know, the love in the hood. Wanted to see somebody come out.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
See, but that goes to something that's also been kind of like a running theme here on the podcast. Like, we had OGs. Y'all had OGs. He had OGs. I had OGs. We all had OGs and shit. That shit don't exist no more.
There's no respect for the G's. That's what it is.
There's just no
These little
OGs,
niggas-
yo.
these
There's
little-
no
but
real
these
OGs
little
no
niggas,
more.
You still have them, but these little niggas don't respect them.
They don't listen to them no
That's the
more.
problem.
I
They
don't
quick
know.
to go Papa G. Before growing up, you ain't get no points for that. You couldn't do that. You
Nah,
know
you
what I'm
couldn't.
saying?
That's the other thing too.
Because
That's the other
you
thing.
weren't going by the code.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
The
Well,
code-
that's what's diminished as well. The code, the
code,
actual
the code.
cloth that
Yeah,
Burnz
that's gone.
does. You know
That's
what I
gone.
mean?
Well,
But also the OGs now look up to the young ones. Like they're trying to be like the young ones. So
That's
that is
probably the
it's
The
all
game,
flipped.
yeah, the whole
True.
game is backwards,
flipped.
and it depends on the OG because attention is a motherfucker,
you know,
bro. You know
some
what
of
I'm
them,
saying?
yeah,
That attention drug.
It's the best drug.
Yeah,
the
it's
biggest drug.
it's
the
fucking up
biggest
a lot
drug
of
right
shit,
now.
man. It's fucking up a lot of shit. But shout out to the OGs. Shout out to the young OG,
Yup.
young Hove, because he's taking these youngins under the wing and
right.
making
You know
sure
what's
that they
funny?
have the
I think
opportunity to
these
prosper.
younger dudes don't even know what an OG is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean. That
It's
shit.
a pair of retro
It
Jordans.
doesn't exist anymore.
Ask them. You know what I mean? And they wouldn't probably even begin to explain what it is.
Yeah.
Nah, the
You know
shit
what I'm
that
saying?
it doesn't exist.
It's something that doesn't exist to them, and it's and the, like you
And
said, they're disrespectful and defensive against it because you're catching them late. You're already catching them like rebellious and independent. You know what I'm saying? We were taught these morals and these codes and these guidelines from birth almost.
But that's what I was gonna say too. Like that's almost having an OG is disrespectful. Like, oh yeah, you got like having one.
Where I love
that's what I'm saying though. Like in this new era, like having an OG is kind of like being a cornball. What non-inner city kids call OGs is a mentor.
Mentors,
right?
Yeah,
exactly. Right. That's what we're kind of speaking.
But OG is it's important that we delineate the difference between a mentor and an OG because an OG means you got dirt under your nails. Like you could only talk to me that way because you got to have them receipts to back it up. Like you can't get duffed out and be my OG. It's like that ain't my OG.
Yeah.
And I think the G in OG is missing. There's not a lot of people that even stand 10 toes down anymore. So where are they even pulling from? I'm speaking from a younger perspective. You guys speaking from. Yeah. It's like sometimes I look up and I'm like, who the fuck is leading us? Right? Who wants to lead us? They lost in the sauce. They TikToking, bro. What the fuck are you doing?
Exactly.
Teach us.
That's the same attention drug that I was talking about. Like everybody's so me that it's not let me care for you or let me show you.
Listen, I done did a radio show since I was 18, 19 years old, and I'm sure that we could pull up archives from when I interviewed you guys at that time, right?
I got the file,
right? And Time has been a friend of mine in the sense that, like, I've always said I'm gonna live through this lens of moral conduct, street moral conduct.
No other way,
right? I'm never going to abandon that. It doesn't matter how much money I make. It doesn't matter how much success I have. It doesn't matter if I work the biggest pop star in the world at the record label that I'm at right now. My lineage comes from the school of OGs. Yeah. And that moral conduct is actually more applicable in a corporate environment than it is on the streets, because a corporate environment, the penalty of doing me dirty is nothing. In the street, somebody may vanish or somebody might get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
In corporate America,
there's actual repercussions.
Bro, in corporate America, you could violate somebody and there's no ramification for it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's even more important that if we're in a business of young kids of color or young kids that come from areas that don't have all the resources, financial resources or education resources, that at least in their path, I'm lucky enough to run into a few of them where I could be like, yo, I know the rules you play by. I promise you I won't violate those rules. As for these other demons, let me show you how to navigate. Because they're not going to go away. Because they're leeches. They're opportunistic and thriving off of a culture that's not necessarily theirs. And I say I want to add a caveat in the event that in my future this gets extracted and I got to live this down. This will be the equivalent of Justin Duran, a Puerto Rican that comes from the Northeast, family from Brooklyn, born and raised in Hudson County. If I started doing country music and I started marketing country music and I became the biggest executive in country music and I was beating country artists over the head, trying to tell them about their culture, knowing damn well I never wore Wranglers or drove a Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would never tell them about their culture because it's their culture. You feel me? So I would never be opportunistic. I would never swindle them because I respect the soil that they come from. So I'm saying that with that in mind. You're a vulture if you don't necessarily come from you profit off of a business and a lifestyle that you've never experienced. You need to be respectful for those that came from that experience.
Yep. And somewhere along the line, the business of hip hop allowed for those not of the culture to dictate.
Oh, that's all because
that's because it became all about money.
But by the way, you want to know what the problem is? A Justin that was raised with OGs, and you guys are proud, like, yo, that's my little man. Keep going. I'm running the marathon. You pass me the water cup, like, yo, keep going. You need to stretch, like, right? You want to root for me because I'm representing an ideology that you guys have, right? Once I'm the glitch in the matrix, once Dame Dash is the glitch in the matrix, they knock him out. Right? Because he's spreading a theory of independence that is anti to what they are doing. Now, this is not a YouTube conspiracy theory. Like, I wish I could knock on the mirrors. This is the mirror, like I'm knocking on the glass. This is not a weirdo, bizarro conspiracy theory. I work in the business. I'm telling you, any business that's selling a product that's not necessarily theirs, it's in their power to make sure that you don't fully understand what is yours and what is not yours. So when Justin gets a seat at the table, air quotes, the table, I'm taught to believe man, you made it. Look at you, man. You're with us.
Right.
I'm taught by my brother to be like, man, get the fuck out of here. This is mine. This seat been waiting for me. Who's gonna give me another seat?
Yeah.
Right? They
Correct.
hate
Correct.
that. They hate that energy. They wouldn't want that energy in there.
Yeah. Right.
So when you're the glitch in the matrix, you got to move. I mean, I'm saying it through a microphone, so this might be the end of me. So mark the date. I'm gonna be like, yo, yeah, I work at Costco's now. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but you know what I mean. Somehow I lost my job. When you're the glitch in the matrix, when you're the dame, when you're the living seed that was left behind by a Dame Dash, that ideology, it's my job to spread this information and be like, yo, this is your cloth.
Yeah.
Why are you asking for it? Take it, right? Or go outside the building and make another label, right?
And cut out the middleman. Cut
out the plug. This is Streets 101. Like, cut the fucking plug out. Frank Lucas, that could be music, not poppy seeds. Make it happen. It's all possible. But I'm a fucking hypocrite because I work in the matrix. So I can't even say that to somebody who's independent. But if you are independent, get your hustle on because you're doing it the right way.
But the culture needs the people like you to help.
I'm in the belly of the beast, Joe. I'm looking in the belly of the beast like, oh, wow.
You need to have a vehicle to where you're going. You know what I'm saying? You need the vehicle no matter who you're renting it from.
And like we said, you earned your seat at that table. And like you said, that seat was waiting for you all along.
It was yours there to begin with.
Church.
Let's fast forward a little bit to Rutgers. The Goodfella. Before it was the Goodfella Media, right? It was the Goodfella radio show. Something that you launched with the brother Rich. Shout out to the brother Rich, the brother Q, if I remember correctly.
You got
Shout
it.
out to the brother Q.
Night?
Yeah, it wasn't the Dark Night. Was it the Dark Night?
Ingenious Night.
Ingenious Night. Yeah.
Dumb Noche.
Shout out to that brother. The homegirl, Kimmy.
Kimmy C live. My sister in
crime.
crime.
The other homegirl, Steph.
Yep.
Who turns out is familia with Titty Tane.
Steph?
Ooh, Steph?
Yeah, I believe
Get
she's
the fuck out of here.
I think that's Bree's godmother.
Oh shit!
Really?
Wow, she was on season 3 to season 6 of Goodfella Media.
Yeah.
Wow, shout out to Steph.
Yeah, shout out to Steph. Shout out to the brother.
And one
Titty
person,
Tane,
if I could jump
Shout
in.
to
yes, I'll allow you.
Dawn,
Rest in peace. Yeah.
rest in peace, Dawn, who was one of our founding members. That she died. She passed away young, and
Sorry to hear that, man.
it was we were a small family, and losing her meant so much. It impacted us a lot, and you know, like I said about you guys, I think any success that came from Goodfella Media was steered and guided by Dawn.
Yeah.
And her energy's still in all of us. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, she passed away young, but her legacy lives in all of us. And if I really want to take it a step further, you could even cut this into the podcast if you edit it. In when she passed away, Rich, Q, everybody who was involved, we got all the Hudson Colony artists together to make a song commemorating her, but to also sell, and the proceeds went to any way we can help the family. In that song, I was like 10 plus years ago. I said in the song, I was speaking to her in one of the interludes, and I said, I was going to say something. I said, don't worry about it. I'll tell you when I see you. I'm getting chills right now. And Dawn would always be like, yo, Justin, you're special, bro. I'm telling you, like, you got something that I never seen in anybody. Like, and I remember being like, yo, I promise you I'm going to make it. I promise you, like, I'm going to change lives. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And that was my little secret to her. And it's in that song. And it's almost like a time capsule. I put it in the dirt. And I was like, man, let me see if I actually live up to this thing that. So when my day comes and me and Dawn meet, you know, I get to tell the story that she was the fire for a lot of us. Definitely me.
Sure.
So R.I.P. Dawn.
Yeah, R.I.P. Dawn for sure.
R.I.P. Dawn.
And I remember when you guys put that together. I don't recall if it was the actual video or if there was a video of y'all in the process. Yeah, in the mix.
Me and Q arguing in the studio.
Yeah. So that was dope.
Shout out to my brother QS, the founding father, along with Ingenious Night. Of Goodfella. That's the name of their music collective. And then he had a radio show and he brought me along. So it's really Q's operation that I was able to be a part of.
Okay.
And we created Goodfella Media, but and the homie AR, can't forget him.
Yeah. We were guests on Goodfella Media. which coincidentally,
radio show.
Goodfella radio show. I'm sorry.
By the way, at that time, young kids had the presence of mind to turn a satellite receiver in New Brunswick into a media conglomerate. Meaning, we had a website, we had an editorial, we had a podcast, we had a radio show, a live radio show, and we had a YouTube channel that we did over 500 interviews and has well over hundreds of millions of views to date. Nice. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, Nipsey Hussle, Big Sean, Future.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All you know.
And we started that there.
Yes.
But again, to go back to the core principles for any young person listening to this, or anybody in their pursuit of their happiness, we were kids from the hood that seen a radio tower and asked each other, wait, nobody's using this?
Yeah, for real.
You feel me? The friend with the swimming pool that he never uses. You're like, wait, what? Y'all don't get, bro? A fire pump.
Hello.
Yeah, we're like, yo, you could, right?
Buckets.
We turn lemons that these guys just kind of had in the back of New Brunswick into lemonade, and it started my career.
Lemonade.
You feel me?
Yeah, your own lemonade.
So that is really the
genesis
of Justin, and even having an opportunity to sit and do an interview, is the fact that kids from Hudson County, specifically West New York, we came together, didn't know shit, just had the internet, and found our path.
And what's more hip hop than
beautiful?
The epitome of hip hop is the making of something from out of nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys did awesome things. You guys interviewed a lot of great artists. I remember watching a lot of that stuff. And like I said,
I had an artist tell me one time recently, yo, you don't support nobody from your hood. And I was like, damn. Where were you when I did radio for 8 years and I interviewed over 500 artists?
Yeah.
I remember going up to the show, and the following week from us, you had I don't remember his rap name. The homie Delgus.
Yeah.
I don't remember his rap name.
Ills. He would hate that we know his rap name because he's changed his whole lifestyle. The Ills.
But I remember, he was slated to be up the following week. And, I remember seeing video of J. Dot up there.
We created a
J. Dot Little.
Yeah.
We were what was the name? Stretch and Bobbito. What was the name of this show?
Was the Stretch and Bobbito show. It was on 89 Tech 9.
Stretch and Bobbito. We were the Stretch and Bobbito of Hudson County.
Of your generation,
Hudson County, right? Like you guys were a little bit ahead in terms of like, I know that there's a whole bunch of rap collectives and all that, but we got the young boys, we got the guys that were popping at that moment, and we even went back and did interviews with people. That's how I built, by the way, that's how I built my own reputation in my hood.
Exactly.
As being like, all right, well, I'm gonna be the flex of my neighborhood. I'm gonna be the radio guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to rap. I don't know how to produce. I don't manage nobody, but I'm gonna create a platform. I'm gonna find my spot on the floor so I can get buckets.
Exactly.
And that's what we did. And yeah.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna let you finish.
I mean, I kind of lost my train of thought, but like, no, what really threw me off was somebody saying like, damn, you don't really hold down people in your hood. I'm like, that's crazy. And that's the point I made earlier. It's like, you know what? I'm not even going to be insulted by that because obviously you haven't done your homework.
Right.
And you think my success is viral. And I excuse you for that because viral is on your mind.
You're excusing.
But check my body of work. Ask anybody that's my age. Bro, I done interviewed every rapper in my county 3 times.
And put them on the same platform.
And shout out to Rich, who wrote our business plan. At the time, I didn't even know what the fuck a business plan was. Rich was like, yo, technically speaking, we're a fucking agency. Because what we do is we give you a photo shoot. We give you an interview on a college radio station. We give you a press release because we write your bio for you. We give you an opportunity to perform live on campus because at that time I did concerts on campus.
Fire, straight fire.
Right? And I'm giving you a platform to connect with an audience. We are low-key your management, or at the very least, a press agency.
Right.
I didn't know that. Rich kind of bottled it up. It was like, low-key, people are paying for this, bro.
Yeah.
It's a 5-for-1 when you come over here and you get a dope-ass interview. Right? So again, kids working with lemons and made lemonade. And like you said, that's like, what's more hip-hop than that?
Exactly.
But you ain't do shit for the hood, though. Right?
I'm not. Yeah, like I said, bro.
You just said, right?
Yeah, I've come to peace with that.
And before,
Machito getting high. He wants to know who said it.
That's why security's here. Before
if that person had an OG, they wouldn't know what time it was.
I don't want to let the moment pass without saying that you put in a lot of hard work to get to that level of Rutgers.
It was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun.
I remember watching you work and go to school, And I remember when you told us you got into Rutgers and that was the next move and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want people to understand is what you've said a few times. Like there's work in there. There's blood, sweat, and tears. There's stripes that have been earned to get to this level. It's not instant. It's not overnight. It's not viral.
Well, let me say I got declined to all the 5 schools I applied to 2 times. Like 2 rounds.
So 10 declines in total.
10 dubs, 10 rounds, like semester over semester. Went to community college for 2.5 years, and
worked through it.
There's a long story, and my brother always tells this story to his kids because he finds it as a good way to like. When my brother was low key like parenting me, and he kind of like that was that moment where he picked me up by my fucking shirt and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna need you to stop crying, bro, and get the fuck back out there."
Yeah,
right. Adversity, grit, having the discipline and the willpower of seeing a challenge, experiencing a challenge, and understanding that it really is just an opportunity to learn more about yourself.
Yeah. You get knocked down 10 times.
It can't stop you from the goal, right? It can't stop you from the bag. So my mom called my brother the second time I didn't get into Rutgers, and they sent me some King's English disrespect, like you do not have the acumen or the accolades. I'm over here
even consider applying to our institution.
They're like, you can't even read this fucking mail that we sent you, and I'm like,
dumb motherfucker.
But they say it in the perfect.
I'm like, I don't even understand this letter, but I'm mad.
Did I get in or not?
Exactly. So I took that letter after my brother came down. And he like literally pulled me by my collar and was like, "Yo, we Durans, bro. When we fall, we get up. If you're not bleeding and it ain't broke, get up. Right? That's the family mantra."
Shit, I got a call. He was depressed. If it was right in the back room downstairs.
Yep, that room.
Oh shit! Where?
In the dungeon.
In the dungeon.
I never forget. She called me. I was out there getting it, and she's like, "Oh, I'm worried, and he's depressed and crying." And I'm like, "What?" So I went over, obviously he felt some type of way, and it was just like, listen, nigga, what we doing here? You know what I mean? What, you gonna cry about it?
That ain't, tears don't change the outcome.
My thing was, I really didn't understand why he wanted to go to this school so much. You feel me? So I was like, bro, go do something else with yourself. Go to another school, do something. But you gonna sit here crying, have mom worried about you?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yo, the shit that he said is so not like PC culture.
Right. It's like
he's like, what are you? You gonna sit down here and cry all day, bro?
You gonna be a little.
By the way, this is not allowing. And again, this community. You'll be seen as a weak individual if you will let your so you're not even allowed to cry, bro.
Now you pray.
No way.
You know what I'm saying?
Get the fuck up.
Now I cry over a commercial.
No, I'm saying like
what is going on?
Me and you both, bro. Yeah, Super Bowl tomorrow, they're gonna have some in there that be like,
in the morning watching some emotional shit. I'm like, yo,
pull out your heartstrings.
Yo, that was all that Mob Deep and state property.
Yeah.
That motherfuckers feeling bulletproof.
Yo, you turning into my pops, my chief. I'll be like, yo, what's up? The Yankee game. He's in there watching novelas. I'm like, my man, what we doing here? What we doing over here?
Yo, but don't get it twisted. After 1 week of watching a damn novela, your ass gonna be sitting right there too.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Teresa, the best novela I ever made.
This guy.
I swear, the only novela I ever watched, but that shit was so good, I went and bought the DVD and shit.
What? Grown ass man rushing on. What you know? I'm gonna go watch the game.
Yeah, the
game. Turn on the Telemundo. Turn on the Telemundo.
Before, I mean, I want to make sure I do this at every phase of my career. Before we speak of the successes, it's important that my niece, my nephew, and anybody younger than me that knows me and is on their pursuit of happiness understands that there will always be hurdles. There will always be failure. I read this quote and I love it. How naive to believe you're going to accomplish the unthinkable and experience no adversity. Like, you have to be the most dumbest, ignorant human in the planet to do something that no one's ever done and assume that it's just going to be breezy. Yeah. If everybody could do it, they'd be doing it, bro.
Exactly.
So that's my offering before we get into the accolades. I want to make sure that anybody that's, listening for this long and needs this information, they understand that there's many failures. And thank God for the people in my life that knew my potential enough, way more than I did, to be like, bro, keep going, get back out there. I'm not accepting no, right? And we do that in our own lives. We all got kids, right? We all got youngins that we look over. No is not an option, bro. By the way, what the fuck are you gonna do anyway? What you gonna do but hustle? You know what I mean? Like, that's Jay-Z.
Yeah, of course.
We all know that.
I mean,
that's Kingdom Come, no? Yeah. Come on. Again, that's what's missing in hip hop, yo. People don't study the music and like recall shit like, oh, that's the intro to the 7th album that he released in 2008.
Bro, that shit cut through my body when I heard that intro. Fuck you gonna do but hustle?
That's my shit.
So shout out to Goodfella Radio Show, shout out to Goodfella Media, shout out to Rich,
those are
shout
two
out to
separate
all the
entities. Very important that we
absolutely. And that
Absolutely.
was the genesis of Young Hove. Then after college, you did the intern thing. And correct me if I'm wrong, and if I'm jumping, I'm missing anything.
So this story cannot be told without Steve Carlos, Steve-O. Incredibly successful A&R, and someone that is currently working with Republic, but has worked some of the biggest artists that you and I know. He managed 2 artists when I was at Goodfella Media and I was at Rutgers.
Okay.
And because I only, just the same way I had my head stuck on Rutgers when I wanted to get out of my mom's basement, and I just needed the state to front me 40 bands so I could live somewhere and not live with my crazy ass step pops. The same game plan I had was like, okay, my mind is on Def Jam because it's the Harvard law of hip hop.
Right.
It's the New York Yankees of my culture. Every successful person of color that I've seen that I want to be like, that looks like my dad or my brother, or looks like my cousin Junebug, or looks like Kenny in the Lexus, like they looked like guys that were executives at Def Jam. So I knew that I had to work at Def Jam. It wasn't a question. I was so close I could feel it. So I remember creating a fake Twitter account and following, like going on the back of the liner notes of every Def Jam release, and getting a book at my library that was like the music business book, and looking at a record label org chart and typing their name in Google and then writing like a title in, and then seeing what came up. And then I would take photos. I still have this Word document to this day. Take photos and place it in the org chart and be like, okay, these are the executives of Def Jam, right? And I created this is all, I could show you guys all this stuff. And I created a Twitter account I started following them because I knew their names. And I created a fake Twitter account. If I gave you the name right now, you could find it. And the one list that I created is Def Jam Recordings. It's probably the only list that you could find of these old executives. And I followed them, and I would wake up every day and read what they were doing and be like, okay, this person does that. All right. I was like Google Ads. I was like, all right. And then I kept seeing who had artists, like who managed artists on the side. And Steve-O managed 3 artists on the side. And I don't know Steve-O, but I kept DMing his artists, being like, yo, your shit is fire. I want to interview you. Goodfella Media. We interviewed Nipsey Hussle. We interviewed J-Rock. And one of the dudes hit me back. He was like, yo, hell yeah, I'll do that. So he hit his manager, Steve-O.
Smart.
Bro, it was in motion for months and months.
Chess, not
another example of nothing, something out of nothing.
Remember E, Poppy's friend, Edgar?
Of course.
He would call me Fresh. He'd be like, yo, that's Fresh right there. Remember that movie, The Kid?
Yeah, of course.
I never seen that movie before, and I never knew why he called me Fresh.
Chucky.
Yeah.
When you said chestnut checkers, he's like, yo, this little motherfucker ain't gonna be a doctor, macho. He'd be like, yo, just get him out of here. Like, get the fuck, go home. Right? So chestnut checkers, right? So I create this Twitter account. I see Steve, whatever. So Steve-O comes with one artist. I already know his body. Like, I'm like, damn, I gotta get it anyway. So I'm entertaining the shit out of his artists. You would have thought Jay-Z popped up in the Goodfella Radio. I'm like, yo, son, I know your third verse on your second. And this dude's like, yeah. So Steve-O was like, bro, y'all do some crazy work. I got to keep bringing more artists here. But all I'm really doing is trying to build rapport with this dude.
Right.
So anyway, long story short, by the 5th artist he brought me, it was probably the 3rd to the 5th. I'm sure Steve-O's a quick moving guy, very successful. He came up with the last artist, and I never forget because I called my brother right after. He said, yo, when you graduate, bro? And I'm like, bro, I graduate this year. I'm almost done. He's like, yo, I work at Def Jam. I was like, word? Like, for real? I didn't know that.
My man.
He's like, yo, you should intern for me, bro. Your hustle's crazy, whatever. So I'm like, yeah. You said Def Jam, let me write that down. Like,
I don't know what
that is.
He's like, yeah, pull up on me, 1755 Broadway, bro. Come tomorrow.
Wow.
So I'm like, Pusha T's about to put an album out. I'm like, yo, what's he doing, Pusha T? Yeah. So he's like, yo, how you gonna get there? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, bro, I'm gonna come scoop you. Stay at mommy's. I'm like, all right, yeah, because I gotta get to New York. So I mean, for those that don't know, we live in Hudson County. It's like 5 minutes away from New York. So
for all our French friends, shout out to our French friends.
So my brother scoops or whatever, and he's my brother's happy for me. Like I'm about to go try out for the Knicks type shit. Like,
Wait.
Was that the Pusha T My Name Is My Name concert?
No. That was after. That was album number 2.
Okay.
This is mixtape, Justin. So whatever. I get there. I get to the front of 1755. I'm like Home Alone. Like I'm a little person looking at this big ass building. Like like the first chapel.
Yeah. You hear the angels and
the
shit.
home of Russell, Chris Lighty. You know what I mean? Like Dame Dash done yelled at people in here.
Rick Rubin.
Bro, it's New York. People hit me on the shoulder, bumping around me. I'm like, yo, I made it.
In awe.
Security's smoking a cig. Like, yo, the fuck you doing here? You can't be staring. I'm like, what you mean, bro? I know Steve Carless. And he's like, I don't know who the fuck that is. You got to get out of here, bro. You can't be staring at the building.
Fuck you and Steve Carless.
Rude ass security guard. By the way, me and this dude are tight now.
You can't be staring at the building. Damn, I can't just stare at the building.
No, get out.
I'm like Home Alone. I'm just staring. Yeah. What the fuck? He busting out of Marlboro. He's busting down what you call those?
A black and mild.
No, not a black and mild. He clipped the cig, came back out, finished the shift. You know, like fuck out of here. So I'm like, I'm hitting Steve-O. Boom, boom. I'm going straight to voicemail. I'm like, fuck. I got no bread. $2 pizza spots right on the block. I get a pizza, come back. Dude's like looking for me. He's like, yo, what I told you, my man? We don't rappers can't hang out here. I'm like, bro, I know Steve-O. And I'm Googling shit, like he's like, yo, you gotta get the fuck out of here. So I'm waiting in Duane Reade. I'm just in there for 5 hours, bro. Wow. So I finally call again, and some lady calls me back, and she's like, hey, how's it going? I'm Steve-O's assistant. Why you keep calling him? I'm like, Steve-O told me to come to Def Jam. I'm in front of I'm saying the Def Jam building, the Universal Music. But I'm like a kid, you know. I'm in front of the Def Jam building. She's like, oh my God. Okay, well, everybody's about to leave, but come up. So I'm like, bet. I look at security. I'm like, fuck you. I know. I told you, there, Steve-O. It was already a new guy on a new shift. You know what I mean?
But still, fuck you too. You just represent
fuck you too, nigga.
So I'm on the elevator up, bro. That elevator up felt like I was going to heaven, bro. I was like, yo, I'm at Def Jam. This is crazy. It's like the crescendo at the end of Kanye's first album when he finally breaks through and he gets to his. I'm like, boom, elevator door opens. I walk to the front door. Maribel, who I know well now, front desk lady's like, oh, hey, how are you? What's your name? I'm like, Justin. She's like, oh, who you waiting for? Steve-O. She's like, oh, okay, I'll let you in. Boom, I buzz in. I go see Brittany. Brittany's the girl that's working with Steve-O. She's like, yo, Steve-O is a nut. He be moving 1,000,000 miles per hour. He probably forgot that he invited you, but you can sit in that little corner right there, and we'll figure it out. So, son, I'm by a printer on a fold-out chair. And I'm like, yo, I'm at Def Jam. I was like Rudy in like the equipment, like, yo, I'm really at Notre Dame right now. This is crazy. I'm looking at the poster. I'm seeing Rick Ross like promotional tools. I'm like, yo, I'm about to yap one of those. Like, yo, by the way, this is true. The whole time I'm thinking like, yo, I gotta give this to my brother. Like all this shit in here, like he would love this. Ross, Pusha T, The Dream. You know what I mean? Like.
That's
bro,
big.
Brittany's like, yo, come over here. What's your name? I'm like, Justin. She's like, look, Steve-O does this shit all the time. Just work with me. I do promo. I do radio here. And shout out to Brittany O'Gara, bro.
Yeah.
If Brittany didn't tuck me in, I wasn't a real intern. I graduated college like at 22, 23. I was old. Mm-hmm. And she was like, you don't even need no papers, bro. Just come in here. Make sure you get here before my boss, Rodney Shealy. Make sure you get here. So I don't have to identify who you are. You're not going to have a pass. Just figure it out.
Yeah.
Son, that was it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in. Like,
yeah, that's it. You're in, yeah.
Bro, that year, my only goal was to fill that org chart with emails and phone numbers for every person that I knew that worked there. Because I knew everything they did on their free time. I followed them on all socials. So this is the play I used to run. And I hope this is helpful to other people. Getting in is not enough. Mm-hmm. I got in. I used to ask Rodney, at that time, Rodney Shealy, who is now my current boss at Def Jam. When I was an intern, he would be like, yo, where's the Puerto Rican kid at? I'd be like a soldier. I'd be like, yo, what's up, Rodney? What you need? yeah, I'm here, baby, I'm here. You know what I mean? And he'd be like, yo, get everybody lunch. Take their orders. So he would let me hold his card in the morning to get everybody lunch. So what I started doing was I would get a Post-it and I would wait like at my little desk before people start coming in, and I would wait till people start coming in and pop in the office and be like, "Hey, my name is Justin. I'm Ronnie's intern. If you want any free coffee or anything, let me know." Because Ronnie didn't give a fuck about his corporate coffee.
Yeah.
And I would buy everybody coffee, and I would remember that. I still have notes in my iPhone of people's coffee orders, and they'd be like, "Yeah, get me a whatever, bro." And the other interns be like, "Yo, where you going, bro?" I'm like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. I'm about to come back with 30 coffees." Yeah. And bro, every day I used to write down how long. I'm like losing myself in this story because I would write down how long it would take me to bring the coffees back, because that was my challenge for the day. Because I'll be sitting there for 7 hours with nothing to do. Yeah. But the coffee was my bag. Like people would see me.
Thanks.
And I was fresh still.
And
so
people love coffee. Damn it.
And I was fresh still. So people were like, "Yo, where you get that Supreme at? Yo, where you get that?" Like, so people would realize the drip. So, bro, at one point, the manager of Starbucks was like, "Yo, you come here every day, order. Why don't we start prepping it for you? Just text us the order before you." So I would come down, bro, and they would be like,
"Now you're beating your time."
They'll be like, "Yo, get Coffee Boy. Tell Coffee Boy, yo, he be coming."
Let's talk about the crazy conversations. Meanwhile, you were doing it because it was part of the hustle, but the conversations where you would call me stressed out.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's the good and the bad. It's the balance.
Like a coffee guy, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that's part of paying your dues.
And you know what? And we would talk. We would really talk. Like, you know, of course, we're brothers. And he'll call me in vent.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it's part of the process, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You ain't gonna be the coffee dude forever.
Obviously.
My thing to him was, you in the building. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You're in the building. I used to always tell him, you in the building. And don't mess this shit up. Because I done told everybody and their mother, you the executive for Def Jam already. And you running fucking coffees. Do not mess this up.
But you say in the building, Brother Chi, look at my notes. In the building.
Yeah.
Def Jam.
That's a checkpoint.
So
feel me?
you know, and you know, for everybody listening to it, wasn't just like it was him, you know, doing, that was a part of the hustle, right? But that hustle was tough at times.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Getting those coffees, doing those things. But even with just getting coffee, there was a method to the madness. You know what I mean? Right. And he made something out of it.
Yeah.
He was building rapport.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it sounds funny because like with the cheesecake with Puffy.
Yeah.
Right. You understand what I mean? Yeah, that was extreme. But you know what? There's levels to
but
this
shit. It's not even about the cheesecake.
It's not about
It's never about the cheesecake. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got that drive? Who's got that determination? Who's got that commitment?
To be humble.
Yeah.
Right? Because you got to humble yourself.
To be humble, but also to complete the mission.
I respect him, right?
Of course.
That's my brother, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all know. If you know, nigga like me, first day on the job,
you're not getting the coffee.
Y'all go fuck yourself. I was down with my boy at the security booth smoking both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kicking niggas off the block and shit.
Hakeem, the security guard.
About to get a part-time.
Yo, Hawk, he's staring at the building. Look, get him.
But guess what? I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to be in the building too.
Yeah.
Security guard.
You're just not getting the coffee.
Yeah.
You know, all due respect.
Absolutely.
For you know, him sharing that story. And me being a part of it and the grind and hustle.
Yeah.
That's hard to humble yourself like that.
Exactly.
You were just in college doing numbers.
Yeah.
And you was the fucking man.
Rich, how many we had? Like 500 million views at one point?
Nah.
Yeah, cumulative? Bro, we interviewed, right?
Yeah, I
We
believe
ran
it.
it up. How many views were we at Goodfella's account? Goodfella, probably like 100 millions, right? Probably way more than that.
He's like a lot.
Rich don't want to be wrong.
And thanks to Rich for the expert input.
So
Those royalties came to you, Justin?
Nah, that went to Rich's Google AdSense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he didn't want to give the number. he didn't want us to do the math.
He was like, hey, it's a lot. Don't worry about it.
He's rich for real.
It's good.
He like, yeah, you out here giving out numbers. What the accountant's gonna come in? What do they call those? The people that run
Audits.
Audits. We don't get audit from 2006.
Oh,
Don't worry,
shit.
it was good. It was good.
But you're right though. We was doing numbers. I had just put on a concert right before I started interning at Def Jam. Remember, brothers? It was Pitbull, 303, J. Cole. Who else was it? Rich? Was it Crit? I forgot. It was like Yellow Wolf. Yellow Wolf. I had
Yellow Wolf.
I had just put on a concert Right, that shit was stadium
Yeah,
status.
them names at that time.
About 40,000 people came out, bro, and it was a concert.
Shit.
And I'm like, I'm that boy out there, but I'm here like coffee boy.
Sugar or creamer?
Is that an extra?
But that's what people need to understand. It's not all glitz and glamour.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You
humble
get in the
yourself,
building.
yeah.
No, you're not the golden child. You're not coming in as a president, as a
coffee
VP,
boy.
as a CEO, or nothing like that. You're coming in from the bottom, and you're either gonna work your ass off and move your way up, or you're gonna give up.
You're gonna fold.
But to go back to the very
man.
beginning of our conversation, when you come from the cloth we come from, when you come from the situations, you know, that's not an option. Quitting is not an option because there is no plan B. There is no fucking second chance. Like,
fuck plan B.
yeah,
Your
you
father
in the
sent you
fucking
to the
building.
store 5 times. You was gonna go to the store 5 times.
yeah.
right?
Word, I was training.
Takes time,
Yeah,
just
that
in
was training.
case.
That's what I'm saying.
Macho, how you gonna have him get us cigarettes, bro? He could get cigarettes, bro.
Just tell him you macho son.
Tell
and I'ma
Willie
pay
it's for me.
Oh, Mom, yeah.
On Fiao.
Yeah. Those
Yo.
Lamborghinis, come on,
Yo.
ma. Your ass have to shut the hell up all your way to the store and come back. I mean,
Yo,
it's
I
part
made
of
I
growth,
made a
you know what I
mistake
mean?
once, yo. My family was over and my uncle Chiefy. Shout out to my uncle Chiefy. I got mad love for him. Okay. He was like, "Yo, go to the store and get me a soda." And I was like, "Yo, why you don't go get it yourself?"
Oh, he slapped the shit out of you.
Yeah, if you grew up like it was multiple slaps, like they lined up. And shit. Like, oh wait. He said what? Oh, let me get in line. 'Cause I got to slap him too.
that one.
You on deck for a cocotazo.
Hell
you
yeah,
deserve
so-
that one, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yo, VS, you write a lot of notes. Shoot me one, man. I know you got
No, because he's prepping for a segment that we're gonna do shortly.
Got you.
Let's see. So you're at Def Jam. You're in the building. You know, you start accumulating success. If I'm not mistaken,
My idea of success, yeah.
right. Correct. But in I don't know. I guess in society's perception of what success would be, you worked with artists who
Yeah. No, I'm saying my idea because, like I said before.
Known artists.
right.
Yeah.
Mainstream artists.
Yeah.
And
Household names.
do you have like a favorite? Someone you worked with?
You mean at Def Jam now? You mean like who I've worked with? Not as an intern.
No, not as an intern. Not that.
Yeah, well,
No.
I want to fill that
Artists-
gap in, so
So tell us about the rise.
I mean, I'll make it quick because it's not as entertaining as the other stuff. But I did. Rich and I took a meeting at Complex.
Yes.
Because Rich and I took a meeting at Complex Media at the time was like the more youth culture version of BuzzFeed. And we were looking to sell a portion of Goodfella Media because we created a media company out of it. And this is the time like Nah Right, Two Dope Boys were all getting sold to these bigger media conglomerates. And I remember I took a meeting. We had an interview. I forgot the dude's name. So AR got me an interview at Complex. So boom, I talked to the dude. He's like, "Yo, we interview you for whatever. Like we want equity on Goodfella Media, but you know, like, is there anything else you need? Are you still in college?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm looking for a job. I'm interning at Def. Like, fuck equity in my company. Just hire me. Like, I need another Jungle Gym banister to hold on to because the other one is burning down already.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to kick me out. I'm 24 years old. They're like, bro, this is not an intern. This is a grown man stealing Wi-Fi." Right? Like, this motherfucker's flirting with like people who work here. Like, no. So boom, I turned that meeting, turned it into a finesse. Got an interview, did a round of interviews, got a job at Complex.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, that was huge. Yo, Complex Media was massive because it was me dipping into non like truly authentic urban culture, but more for the lack of a better term, fuckboy culture, internet culture, wait on the line of Supreme for 73 hours culture,
Hypebeast culture.
Hypebeast culture. Run up the price on your favorite Jordans. Get to Dr. J's and your piece is missing culture. Like these kids were a part of a community that I wasn't privy to. They would dominate in the internet, and I was more in the around people that were in the field. So Complex really put me on.
Hip-hop elitist.
Yeah. The people that articulated the bass and they wrote about rap as if it was jazz, and I'm over here like, that shit fire. That's all I know. And they're like, man, the percussion on the 808 really came back on a. And they're
Did
talking
you hear
about
the way he chopped the sample on the fourth note bar?
They've gentrified our chopped cheese, and now they're selling it back to us. This is my first. This is my first experience of being like, yo, wait.
Yeah.
Ain't that a chopped cheese? Like, what are we paying 20 for, right?
Yeah.
Like,
how this shit is quick and mad money.
You feel me? So
roasted.
That complex was my first, and that was the first time I remember sifting through human beings and being like, you don't remind me of the people that I know that create this fabric, but why do you get a platform? Why do you have 2 million followers and I don't? So it helped me understand internet culture and and it helped me build our business at Goodfella even more because I learned how to so at that time at that time I worked sales and marketing at Complex. That's where I got the job as an assistant. I don't even know if I can say this. As a sales and marketing assistant, I used to see all the contracts that used to come in from our brand partners. So I would be like, Fila, $250,000 for a week of advertisements and an interview with Big Crit with a Fila logo behind him. And Big Crit don't even know this. You feel me? Like, so I remember hitting the homies up and being like, yo, they paying 250 bands for this.
Like, how do we get some?
They're not selling cars and they're not selling tires. They're selling the road, right? Yeah. This highway. We should be selling more of the highway because it's really not the product that sells. It's the funnel that you put the product through that you could sell. So it's the billboard on your way in and out of New York more than getting in and out of New York. So once I figured that out, I would really analyze the POs, the invoices that we would get from these brands. And I set up shop with two of my other homies, not the Goodfella Media guys, but two of my other homies from college. One had a business degree and the other one was had a marketing degree. And that was my man Anthony DeStasio, who had the marketing degree, and my man Danny Rojas, who had the business degree. And we set up shop and we created a cultural marketing agency called Luxury Sport. And that
I saw that.
That was about brand partnerships, consumer experiences, lifestyle activations, events. It wasn't like internet. It was IRL. It was taxing influencer culture. So we could get you an influencer to do something for you at a show, but you got to give us 20% because we sell in the highway. You don't know them, we know them. And I low-key stole that whole business plan from working at Complex, watching how much bread was funneling through and being like, yo, we could do that on a small scale. So I created Luxury Sport with my two business partners, Anthony and Danny, and Luxury Sport turned into this woman, Julianne Quay, who worked at V-Files, V Magazine's digital arm, V Magazine Fashion.
Wow.
So Julianne was like banging down our door, like, yo, what the fuck? These 3 Spanish kids, like, what are they doing selling? Like, how come I could get it for you for $5 when these people are selling it for $35? And we're like, bro, we know everybody in New York. Like, we already set that foundation with Goodfella and me being like the chatty one. So she's like, yo, I want to hire you. Fuck your company. I want to hire you. Can you run my sales and marketing? Bro, I'm a baby. I'm like, I'm an assistant at Complex. I'm like, hell yeah, I can run you. Yeah. I'm over here faking it.
As it should be. You know what I mean? Take the fucking job and you learn it later.
So I come into V-Files. I learn the job at hand. It's fashion. But this is like alternate counterculture. This is not like urban counterculture. This is not like rock and roll, like rebel culture. This is like LGBT, drags. You know what I mean? Like drag culture. This is like downtown fashion, but like Rick Owens, Jeremy Scott, you know what I mean? And at this time, ASAP Rocky's popping. So I'm familiar with urban fashion, like our fashion, like academics, FUBU, whatever the fuck. But now I'm getting into designer fashion because I'm selling brand partnerships for alt counterculture, which is what they define it as in marketing. And I'm learning about this shit on a high level, but I still got the sensibility of like my home. So I'm learning like, damn, boutique brands, cool culture, how you could take a product and sell it for 7x value. I'm learning about like cuts of jeans, cuts of sweaters, fabrics, like literal fabrics, like, and we're doing fashion shows every quarter. And I'm learning like now I'm like, damn, this culture shit is bigger than music. So boom, I did that for about 1.5 years. And then my man Danny Rojas. So my man Danny Rojas had an internship at Bad Boy. He turned that internship into a job at Def Jam. My man Anthony, who I started Luxury Sport, turned our Luxury Sport company into an assistant at Urban Radio for RCA. He turned our brand partnership contacts because he was like our salesperson. And he started working brand partnerships at RCA because he was like 23 and he had all the contacts. So he got a job at RCA doing brand partnerships. So all of us are glowing up and we're sharing network. So my man Danny got a crazy look at Republic Records. He was the first one to get like a big bag as an executive. And he's like, yo, Def Jam got a marketing role open. They asked me for it, but I told them about you. And at this time, I had mad resentment towards Def Jam because they didn't hire me as an intern. I had wrote like this Lil Durk marketing plan, and they straight dubbed my shit. Like, I was up all night writing that marketing plan. So I'm like, fuck, in my heart, I'm like that bad bitch that turned me down. I'm like, fuck that bitch. Like, she could burn right now. I don't care. So,
but a real one knows.
Nah, in the back of my mind,
you gotta hit it at least once.
So this is true. This is a true story. Danny is like, yo, you need to meet this dude Faisal. Faisal used to be Beyonce and Jay-Z's manager. He's Irving Azoff. I'm getting really in like business terms, so excuse me.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Irving Azoff, the dude who created Ticketmaster and Live Nation, this is his mentee.
Wow. Okay.
He manages the Eagles, the most profitable, like he's one of the most successful managers ever. His mentee, Faisal Durrani, managed Jay-Z
who
and
have sold the most albums in the history.
He managed Jay-Z and Beyonce, helped put the Ticketmaster Live Nation merger together. Like this dude's a genius. Danny's telling me this, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm running it up. I'm doing fashion now. I'm over here with it. You know what I mean? You catch me at the drag show. But we're like, because I'm learning this world, right? Like this is like counter culture. I'm in downtown Soho with it. You know what I mean? I know all the young influencers. I know ASAP Rocky. I know Yams. I know Ferg. I know Bodega Bams. I'm immersed in downtown New York culture, and this is like if you know hip hop culture, a lot of this shit comes from the cobblestone, right?
Exactly.
So, and this is like more like.
I'm sorry, real quick. That's not the birthplace. We know the birthplace was the Bronx.
But this is more like Andy Warhol. This is where Russell meets Rick Rubin. This is where predominantly outer city urban culture comes into Manhattan and it gets gentrified,
and
right?
The punk culture
downtown between like downtown Brooklyn, LEI.
Bro, and I'm experiencing this. I walk into 21 Mercer, I walk into opening ceremony, I walk into Raph Simmons, and they saluting me like, but I'm dripped in like a fur jacket and Tim's because I still got that energy. You feel me? But like it's all merging, and I got complex internet culture in my mind. Like all these fuck boys, they'll buy anything at any price. These are fiends. These are the worst, the best type of custody. You can give them anything and they'll buy it. You know, it could be trash product as long as you slap the right logo on it. They're like junkies. They'll They need it. So.
I'll pay any price.
I'll pay any. Oh, you want me to come back a month later? Yeah, right. Like so. So I was at V Files and I was really enjoying that experience because I felt like I was out of my element, but I was learning more about culture, quote unquote culture, consumer culture. So Faisal, I take the interview with Faisal just out of a courtesy, and I have resentment. I go to that interview I went to that interview in the same white boost I got on, Adidas boost. Because I wanted them to know, like, bro, I'm about this fashion shit. You feel me? I don't give a fuck about hip hop no more. I go in and Faisal, I love Faisal, by the way. Me and him talk every day still. He's still my mentor. He's retired from music, but he had his feet on a table. He was looking out the window on some like Batman, Dark Knight shit. He was like looking into the New York skyline, super duper executive. And I'm like, he hit his phone. It's a true story. He hit his phone. He goes, D, his assistant, pour me a Coca-Cola. Bro, he had like a little cup holster. Old girl pulled up behind him. He never looked at me. He was looking out the window. She opened a gold can of Coke. I never seen this kind of Coke in my life. She took ice from under his desk. I don't know where the ice came from. She poured it and she just smiling at me. And I'm like, yo, who is this dude? So he goes, Justin, I hear great things about you. Why should you work here? And I was like, I don't know. You tell me. He goes, let me tell you something. There's the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. I need people who got both. I hear you got both. What have you done? Tell me. So I give him my resi. He goes, you know who has the strongest left side of the brain? I don't know if it's the right side, so anybody out there studies. I don't know. He's like Kanye West. I got an opportunity to work with him at Def Jam. Boom, boom, boom. You know who got the strongest right side? Boom, he named some business mogul, Irving Azoff. He goes, you know who has both? Jay-Z. I'm looking for Jay-Z's. I was like, who is this guy? I must learn from him. Yeah. I was like,
show me, master.
Little does he know he's talking about Hove and he talking to young Hove.
Yeah.
Little did he fucking know.
How ironic is that?
Yeah, bro.
It comes back full circle.
So Faisal Durrani, who really changed the trajectory of my whole life in the music business, hit me with that little riddle. And by the way, I found out he was a riddler. Like that's his way of leadership. And he just kind of he kind of kept telling me about the music business, how he learned and how he needs more blue collar kids to come from the streets and whatever. He's like, I need more of that in Def Jam, but you seem like you know about internet culture. And we have a roster of artists that are really good online, but we can't connect that dot. And I heard you worked at V-Files, and I heard you worked at Complex. I said, yeah. I was like, who's the artist? And this is like 2000, what? I don't remember, but it was right before Logic dropped his second album. And before Alessia Cara put out her first single. He was like,
which to this day is my fucking jam.
Before she put out Here, he said
17?
Yeah, I think around, I can't remember exactly, but he said I got a roster of developing artists that are good on the internet, and I got to connect that dot. I have Alessia Cara, Vince Staples, Logic, Pusha T. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. Troy Irons, this girl that did like rock and roll, but she was fire. Moxie Rhea, Frank Ocean, and Kanye West. So I'm like, did this dude just say Pusha T? Kanye West. No, fuck everybody. I was like, bro, Pusha T is like my favorite rapper ever. Period. And my whole family, it cuts through generations. Damien likes Pusha T, Machito like. He's talking some other talk that we gravitate to.
Right.
That's that bomber in 7 degree weather music. You know what I mean? Like,
and he's authentic.
That pocket in the pocket music. You feel me? So I'm like, my head is spinning. Now I'm back on my rap shit. I almost forgot who I was. I was like, oh my God. This is what I came here for originally. I got caught up in like the downtown New York fashion shit, internet shit. And I'm like,
he reeled you back in.
No, but I fronted. I was like, all right, bro, I'm gonna let you know. He was like, all right, cool. He was super cool about it. He was like, go talk to my man Dave Bell. He's down the hall. If you take the job, he'll be your manager. I talked to Dave. Dave is like this really cool dude. Taught me a lot about the music business. And I locked in with him. And he was like, hey, man, I'm interviewing 3 people. I'll let you know. Boom, I dip. Immediately I leave. I call Machito. I'm like, yo. He's like, yo, did you get Ross? I'm like, no, bro. No, I didn't get Ross. But listen. My brother, he love Rose. So I'm like, bro, push your T, whatever. He's like, I fuck with Logic, bro. Yo, that kid can rap. So I'm like, yo, I should take it, right? He's like, bro, are you bro, if you don't go back in there and tell him you want that, bro, this is what we wanted. Like, this is what we came here for. Yeah, like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you was serving coffees 4 years ago there.
Don't be bitter,
So I'm not gonna lie. I let a day slide. Danny's texting me like, yo, Faisal really liked you. He wants you to come back. Boom. Email back. And that's like the Cheers for the Rock moment. Like, took the job, bro. They sat me in a little ass cube, but I was in that cube. Could have been like a throne because I sat in the printer
on the folding chair
next to the printer
in the place where they put promo items. I now know that's the backstock. I thought to me that was like to me that was like Warren Buffett in that little spot. But that's where they kept all their backstock, their OCDs, their shirts. But to me, that was like the trap. Like, this is where I So I remember walking by that area and seeing interns there and being like, I'm in here. These motherfuckers gonna get me coffee now. So
2 sugars.
I sat in my little cube and I sat down, bro, and I was like, damn, I work at Def Jam. This is crazy.
Congratulations, man.
And then it was just God's plan after that. Alessia Cara. Here,
shit,
a rocket. I was just like one passenger on an 8-person plane.
I am a 40-plus-year-old man, and Alessia Cara, when she came out, she had to have been 16, 17.
She's a baby, 17 years old.
And she wrote a song about being at a party that she ain't want to be at with some friends that she really ain't like too much. And I listen to that shit to this day.
She was ahead of the curve on the
that song was popping.
What you were saying about music transcending. That was a song and an artist that transcended genre, age.
And it was going against everything that all women would.
She represented a whole different ideology. She had a flannel shirt on, short-cut hair. And at that time, I had enough experience as a marketer to understand how to market different product. And I was afforded the ultimate opportunity to work with Faisal and Dave Bell and Chris Atlas, who were marketing geniuses. And I was like, I was just coming off the bench shooting corner threes. Like, that's all they really needed me for. Like, plug in on some internet shit. Yeah. So, Alessia Cara, Vince Staples, he dropped Prima Donna, Fire album, where he got, like, the big head in there. We made, like, these little bobbleheads, like, just gave him to partners.
Shout out to Vince Staples. He's one of the funniest rappers.
He's hilarious. He's actually entertaining, probably more entertaining as a personality than he is an actual rapper.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's got great character.
I worked to Watch the Throne. Not Watch the Throne. It came after Watch the Throne. The Life of Pablo.
Okay.
Possibly my favorite Kanye album.
And
Really?
and that's when I was G'd up in the building because I got the whole family tickets.
was
Damn, yeah, that's right. Oh man, that was the night. That was the night I quit smoking weed. I'm back now. But that night.
Wait. Time out. So you guys were there for the Life of Pablo premiere?
No, not. Listen, I was there for the Life of Pablo.
Okay.
But
in MSG for the Life of Pablo premiere, I was there. But I had got tickets through like a work associate.
Okay.
Yeah, but that show, the floating stage.
But the concert,
Oh, you're
we
talking
went
about the
to,
floating stage,
the St.
joint.
Pablo tour.
The St. Pablo tour. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I smoked, but
was
Kanye
another
was up
level.
there and people
Yo,
was
you had
reaching
that-
for
you
him.
had-
And you quit right there, right then and there. You was like, I quit.
Dog, I thought that was Jesus. And I was asking myself, what if he is judging me from that stage? And I'm there with Brother Chi next to me.
Wow,
And
nigga, what were you smoking?
No, we're drinking Henny. Did you sneak Henny?
No, you got me the Henny
Henny
slushy
slushy.
from the
Yeah,
dressing room.
I got them the Henny slushy.
Dog, I quit smoking weed for like a good year after
Yeah,
that.
for real.
Oh, I do remember that.
I brought back the Henny slushies. Yo, like this was this was so important to me that I was in Kanye's dressing room weaving through Kim and Kanye. They're like, yo, watch out, I gotta get my brother a Henny slushie. This means watch out, yeah. This means the world to him.
This is the most important thing. Move over, Kanye.
Get the fuck out of here, Kanye and Kim.
You took Damien down to the pit downstairs.
Yeah.
Yo, we walked by, no lie, we walked by like
Jay-Z, Beyonce.
Jay-Z, Beyonce,
Right there.
Jay-Z, Beyonce, Chris Rock.
Carmelo Anthony.
No, I was
If I
gonna save it. So me and Damien, my brother's son, who is my heart, my nephew, my little guy, like he's my young old, right? Like I got him with me. I'm like, yo, let's go, bro. We walked through every celebrity known to man. And he's like, yo, is that Mello? Yo, Carmelo Anthony.
He said, fuck everybody
I'm like, yo, Chris Rock, Michelle Obama, fucking
Travis Scott.
He's like, yo, that's Mello.
That's
Carmelo. Come on, that don't tell you
that
everything you need to
Nick
know about our
shit.
family.
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
know what to
I
tell
think
you.
that's some real New York from that
shit.
night.
That nigga
I
came
think I
back
said he
on-
came back all sweaty. Remember?
Girls coming down. Yo, that shit was crazy. They would just elbow me. I was
The
like,
mosh pit. Oh man, that's dope.
Hell yeah,
And the one that I have to mention is I was afforded the opportunity to work Logic's Everybody album, which literally changed my entire life. Anybody that
that
worked,
was one of the best concerts I went to, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a showman.
I heard he
truly
puts
a
on a
showman.
great show.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and for anybody who don't know, Logic can rap.
Oh no, he's a rappity
real.
rap dude. Like
But
that's a
some
fact.
people just won't give rappers
No,
the
no,
chance for whatever reason, regardless of their
I never
success.
understood with him.
He is a rapper's rapper. Technically,
No, yeah,
sound.
Why
yeah.
people would say anything about his rap? Like the nigga could spit.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, he can
Like,
spit.
That's a
Absolutely.
fact. I mean, you listen to his shit, and his shit is deep.
And that project was
That
put
fast
together
flow,
well.
Then slow it down. But what I noticed when we went out there that he had like this cult following.
Yeah.
That shit was impressive.
Yeah.
You know, I like the dude. You know what I mean? I got his album. I loved it. My favorite album was the one he did where they had the two cartoons.
Oh, Bobby Tarantino 3.
Man,
Yeah, he did the hype shit. We went to that. We went to the amphitheater. That's where that Bobby Tarantino. Oh, not Bobby Tarantino. Is it Bobby Tarantino? The one with Push T.
I think so.
Yeah. So we went, and he was doing like all the trap records, rapping over trap records.
oh my god. So when I listened to him, I'm like, this dude could spit, right? So I'm like, yo, I like this dude. I'm a fan. And my brother's fucking with him too. I'm like, oh, this shit is dope. So when we go to the concert, and these motherfuckers is saying every song,
Yo, crazy,
word
crazy.
for
Yeah.
word.
Didn't he bring a
Not
kid
only
on
that.
stage?
Not only that. 3. We have the numbers. 3 in every 5 Logic fans at the show wearing 2 or more pieces of his merchandise.
So all merch.
It's like religion.
Yo, that's what I.
it's a religion.
You look around, bro, and you know somebody from the outside.
He's nasty.
I ain't into like that, and you look around and you like, damn, this place is packed, word for word. What an influence!
Yeah.
Crazy. But by the way, what Outkast was,
And then
or what those
then he
what
retires.
those slightly.
Well, no, he's getting that Twitch money now or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He started
He's not a
family.
dumb
He started
kid, bro.
family. Now-
I always
He's
one
not a
of my
dumb
favorite
kid.
tracks
God
of his
bless
was Young Jesus. It was on the Incredible Story.
Limbo, yeah.
Yeah, that shit is dope. I was like that track.
Again, because
I'm gonna call my car now on the way home, and that's what I'm pumping.
I love that. I love
For
that.
real, right? You know when you ain't hear something in a minute.
There you go.
Hell
Boom.
yeah.
That
Fair enough.
and you know how they say like luck just doesn't happen. Like, you prepare for luck. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's more. Yeah. So like, that was probably the luckiest moment of my life, was being on that project, because everything I ever did to that moment was like very small steps for me to try to get to where I was going. And I grinded for every step. Just being on that project and having the opportunity to work with some of the most smartest people in the music biz, and then also work with one of the most extraordinary artists I've ever met. Mm-hmm. He made a song about suicide prevention.
Yeah.
This is pre the opioid crisis was commercialized, and middle America was getting destroyed by the heroin crisis that destroyed our communities in the 80s and the 90s, right? And we all lived through that. We all have relatives that are still dealing with that. Middle America is dealing with this crisis, mental health issues because of social media. Kids don't know who they are. They're trying to, and he had the foresight to record a record that was going to speak to this issue before anybody really jumped out the window and was talking about it.
Yeah.
And that, I was just fortunate. Like, that was serendipity. That was just me just being in the right place at the right time, and being genuinely the coffee kid to this team and his management team. Shout out to Chris Zaru and Harrison Remler, who is his management team. They brought me in like a little brother, like, yo, we got you. We fuck with Def Jam, but we fuck with you. And I was just with those guys yesterday. So this is like the second year of my career, and now I'm in year 7. And I still got a great relationship with those guys. And I got a solid relationship with Logic and his whole team. And that, to me, was the first time, that was my first experience with next level success, because after that project, that's when every label was like fucking with me. Like,
yeah.
And by the way, I was a role player. Like, I was like Tony Kukoc. I was like fucking,
Bill
I was
Whittington.
like, I was like Greg Ostertag. You know what I mean? So these people are coming to me, like executives of the labels, like, man, I heard you. And I'm like, nah, like, that's Faisal Durrani. That's Dave Bell. That's Chris Atlas. That's Chris Zaru and Harrison. I have no problem saying that. And they're like, that's Noah Preston, his A&R, who's a good friend of mine. And they're like, nah, but you was in the room. We need people that. And that's when I realized what this business is about. It's clout chasing. It's like, and I'm like, damn, I don't even have my reps up yet. Like, I'm not there yet. Like, let me, and then, that became my obsession in the music business, is being like, you know what, I'm gonna get great, because luck happened. I just so happened to be working that Logic project, and it went through the roof because of his team and his talent. But I knew for a fact that once I got my bars up and I got my weight up, that when I was ready, that the world would pay me what I deserve, because they were thirsty for people that were cut in my mold. But I knew I wasn't ready at that time, so I stood at Def Jam and I held it down. I kept working projects, kept getting my projects up, and I done delivered at least like 40 albums now, 50 albums now, like artists that you never heard of and big projects that you heard of. But I got my reps up now, so like now I feel like I deserve whatever praise that they gave me 5 years ago that I didn't think I deserved at that time. But now I have enough experience to be like, yeah, maybe I can work a project like that. But a lot of that has to do with luck and what the market is ready for. You could try to put the suicide prevention record out now. It's too late. That window passed. What's the next thing?
Correct.
You feel me?
Correct.
So like, that's why like now
I'll see him doing TikToks though.
Timing is such an important part of music that is often overlooked. You know what I mean?
So
now, right?
in that moment, in your mind, did you obtain success?
No, because I was already living in whatever I thought success was. Like arguing with my manager at that time, who was a fucking bozo, and I'll leave him nameless, but he would try to. He didn't try. Maybe I lacked the perspective that I have now, and I was just a young, ignorant, like upstart that wanted the world. And he wasn't ready for me, and but I still feel like he's a bozo. So he would try to stop me from moving around. Like, yo, sit at your desk and stay right here. And I would be like, nah, dog. Logic is in New York. I gotta tap in with him. This is my guy. And he'd be like, nah, I'm going. And he'll go check in with him and come back 20 minutes later and be like, yeah, I met with him. I'm like, bro, he sent you home in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm out. Like, I got suspended from school from not being able to sit in my seat. I'm definitely not sitting in this seat. And I would go and tap in with my artists. And because we're closer in age and I'm a more relatable person because of our life experience, the artists will fuck with me. Management will fuck with me. Security will fuck with me. People in this camp will fuck with me because it's an organic experience. I'm not out there with the fangs out looking crazy thirsty. I'm like a genuine person that cares about this guy's career. So I would always tap in with the artist and be genuine Justin. So success was that. That was success for me. The idea that I even got to be on the court with these incredible, extraordinarily talented musicians, bro, I am nothing but a cog in the machine. the music business will exist without me. The artists really are the LeBron Jameses. Without them, everything stops.
Absolutely.
People don't come to see me. They come to see Logic. They come to see Alessia. They come to see Vince Staples. They don't come to see the executive. And I think that's a warped mentality that we have to break in our business for young executives to be like, bro, you're a part of the process. The show will go on without you unless you own something independently, which I don't and they don't. So my glory goes to the artists. And I would never belittle them. So that was the type of time I was on as a young executive, and that was success to me. Like, so just gaining the trust of the artist was like, so I finally remember those moments more than I remember like the bonus that I got that year, which was a nice bonus and it changed my living situation. And now I'm in a condo in Brooklyn, whatever. But those moments were fleeting, bro. That time I spent just kicking it with like Logic's A&R, Noah Preston, and Noah being like, yo, so what do you think we should do about like the single art or the album art? Or yo, he wants to name his album this. I'm trying to tell him no. Those moments to me is what is success. I will forever remember that.
That's amazing.
I'll forever remember Noah Preston dubbing me, like his A&R dubbing me 2 times, not taking a meeting with me. And I'm like in my little cube like, yo, Noah, hey, my name is Justin Duran. I work under Dave Bell. I'm a big Logic fan. I wrote you 3 times. I thought you would write back. You know what I mean? never hit me back. So he pulls up. By the way, this is like Noah Preston is a dear friend of mine, and we're the same age, but he has way more wins when he was younger. So I'm looking at him like a big homie. Like, yo, I need to get this dude's validation. And No ID, that's No ID's mentee. Like, there's No ID, and then there's Noah Preston. Like, he's a tree from the No ID. I mean, he's a branch from the No ID. So I'm like, I know everything about this dude. Like, I study all executives in the music business. Like, I know everything about them. I know their stats, steals, efficiency rating. Like, I know you. So he walked in one day, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Noah Preston. And this other girl, I was saying her name, she was like, why the fuck you be mad happy when the A&Rs come in here? I'm like, yo, these are the dudes who cut the records. They be in the studio. We're like, I'm a nerd, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm like following him. So he goes into somebody's office to go smoke. So I trail him. He's like, yo, like somebody's in here.
Yeah.
Like a bathroom when you go in the bathroom. Like, yo. And I'm like, yo, what's up, Noah? I'm like, oh, word? I'll close the door. And I invited myself like on some weirdo loser shit. Like, yo, so I've been emailing you, dog, and you sent me Logic's mixtape. And I just wanted to tell you, bro, I'm a big Logic fan, and his intro is in reverse, but I re-reversed it with this software that I downloaded. And he's gonna announce his album on this mixtape. So what we should do on the marketing plan. And he was like kind of high, like, yo, what's your name? I'm like, Justin, I do marketing. I work under Dave Bell. I'm just like a coordinator. I don't do real marketing, but like I'm helping, you know. He's like, yo, you reversed the intro? Like, yeah. He's like, I didn't even know that. He's like, yo, you want to do marketing on the project? I'm like, yeah, bro, I would love to, bro. Like, I understand his fan base. Like, I did the analytics. Like, we have all these tools at marketing. Yeah. I'm like, bro, we could really. He was like, yo, say no more. Like, you're in, bro. Come with me. We're gonna go to fucking Empanada Mama. We're gonna have dinner. And I'm like, yo, what about my boss? He's like, man, fuck your boss. He's a bozo. Like, let's go to get dinner.
He was right all along.
You were right.
He's out the business now. So anyway, he took me on to dinner, and again, he's my age, but he has so much more experience, and he kind of gave me the gems and the wisdom of like, yo, behind this curtain, there's a lot more opportunities for guys like us, but we can't have these meetings in the building. We got to have these meetings outside because they don't want us to win.
Yeah.
So that was it for me, and I'm like, yo, listen, I'll get the coffee for Logic. Anything I need for his team.
I've gotten coffee before.
You feel me? So you know, an opportunity. I never forget this opportunity presented itself in LA. Logic was doing a playback, and I had like helped with all the like booking the space and making sure the fans that won contests got there. Like I'm doing all the grunt work, and I'm like, damn, this shit is on a Sunday. It's on a Saturday. I can go to LA for a Saturday. So I just got to get there. Maybe if I leave on Friday. So I tell my boss, I'm like, yo, the bozo, I'm like, yo, I need to take Friday off. Logic, he's like, nah, you don't got to be there. We're going to go, whatever. I'm like, nah, bro, I got to go. And he's telling me, no. I'm like, all right, so I'm going to take a sick day on Friday. He's like, what you mean? I know where you're going to be at. I'm like, bro, I'm using my sick day. Put my own money up. Pay for my own flight. Went out there, paid for my own Uber, got there. His whole team was like, oh, shit, Justin, yo, like, what are you doing here? Like, and I was like one of the 3 people from Def Jam that was there. Everybody came in late, high, drunk, came from dinner, got next level spaghetti sauce on their saying, like, because they're big dog executives. I'm there. And that's how I tapped in with him. Like, not really him, his team. This is the people that he surrounded himself with. And it came from me paying my own flights and flying out and trying to play my position, bro. And I definitely wasn't going to do it from a cube. So
right, exactly. You had to get out
that
there
Justin energy. Energy. You know what I mean?
It goes further back. It goes back to the beginning of the story. You know what I'm saying? That no quit mentality. That coming from nothing and knowing like I gotta fucking be there because if I'm not there,
I'm there right now.
There might not be a chance to be there the next time.
Like mentally, I'm there right now. Like the reason why Rich is with me because me and Rich are building a business from scratch right now. We're so excited about it.
It's like business number 6.
Yeah. This is my 6th flip.
Is it
Listen,
something you could talk about?
I think you've always been that way. From what I remember, you know, we used to watch football together, and you would call a play and rewind it and be like, "Yo, this person did this," or you would know the actual, you would know like the whatever penalty it was before they even announced it. And I'd be like, "How the fuck you know that shit?" Like I seen the whole thing.
I don't remember that.
You're not looking. You're not paying attention. I'm like, "Yo, this nigga's like on point," and he would know who got the penalty. He would know who was gonna do what.
Wow.
Just like analyzing everything. You know what I mean?
Our pops would get drunk. Have a 6-pack at the end of the night, and it was like an honor for me and my chief to watch football with Papi, and he would be like, he'll like mute the TV because I'm always the the most chattiest one. Obviously, this is probably the longest podcast you ever recorded. And he would mute it.
It's actually not. But
he would mute it and be like, "Yo, Pop, commentary of the game," and I'll be like dropping back. Vinny Testaverde coming out of the I formation, jump to Wayne Corbett, and my father would just be chilling like, "Yo, this kid is a trip," like, and I would just like, you know what I mean, like. But to your point, to be immersed on a whole nother level is how I choose to live my life, and
yeah.
And every aspect of what I can tell, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, I'm obsessive.
I see now you're very much
addiction runs in our family, so
you're addicted to the good shit. Music.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
Making lists of executives.
But you kind of have to be.
And health.
It's who I am. You know, you got to work with the tools that you got. So somebody may not have like I was telling Ashley and Damien this. These are my nieces and nephews, my brother's kids. Mm-hmm. And I was telling them, like, yo, y'all got a different skill set. Like, y'all shouldn't be competing with each other. Like, Damien, you got that Duran gene. You want to be outside. You want to look fly. You got a good ear for music. You could be in the studio. If I was running a company, you'd be in the studio. Mm-hmm. Ashley, you're determined. You got crazy willpower. Your discipline is next level. You can sleep for 4 hours, pop up and do the work. I need somebody like you managing my artists. Mm-hmm. I need you to make sure this responsible artist is getting to where they got to go. And you know how, you know what I mean? Like, again, something I'm sharing information with people that are listening. It's like you don't always gotta be like the guy next to you. You take your skill set and you apply it to what works for you.
Mm-hmm. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses.
I was gonna say know what you're good at and capitalize on that. Emphasize on that.
Now, Hov, we're gonna have to bring you back for another episode because we haven't even gotten into Puff versus Dame. We've yet to get into Independent versus Sign. We haven't gotten into artists to watch in 2021, so we'd like to invite you back for another episode. Damn, we didn't even really get into the not the Goodfella Media. It was I wanted to tell you. My second visit to Goodfella Media, you allowed me to create a playlist for Valentine's Day. And we are a week from Valentine's Day, so oddly the timing is very cool.
Wow,
360.
Wow,
yeah, just to see how interconnected we are.
6 degrees.
So we're gonna have Young Hov come back.
Wait, what is he writing? What is
we're gonna hit you right now.
Okay.
We're gonna have Young Hov come back.
I was writing a diss record.
We're gonna have Young Hov come back. We're gonna continue this conversation.
I'm like, yo, this motherfucker keep writing everything. I'm like,
nah.
He's doing an org chart.
Yeah.
But
I'm doing my own analytics.
But before we get into
I want to do that now, though.
Yeah, we're gonna do that right now. Again, I just want to tell you, we're all super proud of you. You know what I'm saying?
Brother.
Continue living and learning. Continue teaching and the baton that you now hold and you've raised to another level.
Exactly.
You know, we expect these kids to.
I'm gonna hit Ashley over the head right now. She probably don't even know this reference. Right now, I'm getting in the elevator with her and I'm looking at her and I'm like, "You got the juice now."
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And she definitely
doesn't get the
reference. Feel me?
He's looking at us like,
what?
But let's.
Buddy had blood on his hands. His fucking hoodie was dismantled.
All fucked up.
And the dude looked at him like, yo,
his best friend.
He just murdered someone, and that's what he tells him.
She don't even know that reference.
No, not at all.
You actually, you and Damien got the juice now.
Yeah. Well,
you got the juice now.
We hope you do.
Yeah.
This is a hurdle. Remember.
Yeah, that's right. We gotta make it tough for them because the world's gonna make it double tough. So we're not gonna give it to them easy. But thank you for being here. We're super proud of you. Let's get to this segment. It's called 10 Shots with BSOP. what BSOP is going to do. He's
I love that. Is this a brand sponsor? Amazing.
We're trying to, the marketing. We study you.
I love that.
We getting under you. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to hit you with 10 rapid fire questions. You answer them with minimal thought, and then afterwards we'll come back and we'll get a little into why you made certain selections.
Yeah, these are just based on prior episodes and a little bit of what we talked about here today. So whenever you're ready, here we go, man. 10 shots.
Let's get it.
Number 10, Bad Boy or Rockefeller?
Easy. Dame Dash.
Rockefeller. Number 9, Dipset, G Unit, or D Block?
Dipset for sure.
All right, no doubt. Number 8, Big L or Big Pun?
I love L. I might be working on something for Big L soon, but Big Pun because he's Puerto Rican and he really represents everything about us.
There you go. Boom. Number 7, Mobb Deep or Wu-Tang?
Honestly, I don't have one, but I'll pick Mobb Deep if I had to.
All right, cool. Number 6, Purple Tape or Iron Man?
Purple Tape because the cover looked fly.
All right.
Marketing.
Best era in your opinion, 80s, 90s, or 2000s?
For what?
Hip-hop in general.
If I died and came back in a decade, it would have to be the 80s because the cocaine was pure and they looked like they was having a good time, bro.
They was having the purest time, yes.
Right? F, am I lying? Our family was having a good time, bro.
They were having a blast.
I always say that. I'm like, bro, for a whole generation of people to be that addicted, it had to be as innocent as rolling a joint. They didn't even know what they were up for in the late 80s. Mm-hmm. They didn't know Reagan was going to throw a fucking Sprite remix on them.
So 80s, no doubt. Number 3, Logic, Kendrick, or Cole?
Logic all day.
All right, no doubt. Number 2, Lauryn or The Dream? Lauryn Hill or The Dream?
Ooh. You tricky motherfucker.
Like that.
Hence the notes.
Yeah, I mean, Lauryn Hill was a little bit before me. The Dream.
No doubt.
But trust me, I understand who Lauryn Hill is and why she.
Absolutely.
No doubt. No doubt.
The importance.
And the last one, the one that started it all, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.
Oof. T.I.
Fair answer.
Wow, that's like their offspring.
Yeah, it is. That is.
Yeah.
Bro, what you mean? Well, you not proud of me, brothers?
They said.
My brother hates that I like T.I.
Remember, T.I. came in as the Jay-Z of the South.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. T.I.'s that dude.
It's really Scarface. Scarface is number 1 for me, but Tip is the one that kind of made it commercialized.
And that's 10 shots with.
I'm a little surprised to hear that Scarface is your guy. He's a little.
The Fix changed my life, bro. That album was the first time I ever seen somebody break down the bad parts of the lifestyle that we were experiencing. Mm-hmm. He didn't glamorize it.
Right. Yeah.
Allegedly.
I was like,
student of the game for real.
I was like, bro, this is really the shit that Mickey's in a halfway house. Mickey just got popped again. Like my mom's crying in the crib. We don't got rent. That father's banging on the door. That's the shit that Scarface was talking about. He wasn't talking about the glamorous part of it. Right? Am I lying?
What else did
I don't mean to laugh, yo. That's just hilarious.
Scarface was talking about that part of the game. Beanie Siegel too, obviously.
Yeah.
The back end.
He said Dipset over G Unit and D Block.
No, I would have expected that. It's the Flyboy.
But let me say again. I like to believe I'm a music fan, but more than anything, I'm really interested in the lifestyle element, the cultural element,
the whole aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. And if your fashion is right, if you're entertaining, it's kind of like wrestling. That's why I love Bad Bunny as an artist. Like, if you got the whole package and it comes together, the music could be good, but sometimes the best rapper is the driest person, so they can't market. They can't market and sell their experience. So Dipset, all of it, Purple City Bird Gang. Dipset, Hell Rel, Uncasa, like that whole wave was crazy.
They had so many
they cornered the market on a color. Like, come on, a silhouette, Cam with the pink range, like crazy.
And purple too. They actually did it with 2 colors.
Everything. Their branding was phenomenal. Listen, Jim Jones made fuzzy braids like a wave.
Yeah,
the dusty look.
The dusty wave, the dusty braids, and no shape up.
Feel me? Like, it was the epitome of cool. I'm always in on cool before anything. Obviously, I'm a product of Feel So Good. So
all in world.
The bandanas, the baggy fitteds. Come on, what are we talking about?
Jerseys and everything.
The Marty Francisco Jabot jeans, 30 straps.
You said Rockefeller over Bad Boy.
I'm a Rockefeller baby. My brother and their Bad Boy.
That is a debate. That is a debate that we
had. I know
had.
how big you are on Puff.
Wait, didn't we just have that debate? So our last episode. So for the listeners, a little clarity. Young Hov was supposed to come up for episode 50,
right.
Which was the Bad Boy versus Rockefeller and the 50th episode celebration. Right. The reason Young Hov was going to come up is because Young Hov hosted the mixtape Bad Boy versus Rockefeller back in the day, so it would have all connected and it would have. Right. But Young Hov's a busy man, so he made it up for episode 53, which is awesome. But I knew he was gonna say Rockefeller.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Rockefeller Soldier was part of his intro.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Rock. I mean, again. I always make this clear. I always knew from the beginning that I was going to be a music executive. Mm-hmm. I never was under the false illusion that I was going to be an artist or an artist manager. So Dame Dash was my Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z is I was more enamored by Bill Belichick, not Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Right.
While the world is looking at Tom Brady throw touchdowns, I'm like, who is this madman that's drawing these plays up? Mm-hmm. Dame Dash is my Jay-Z. Dame Dash is my Warren Buffett. Dame Dash is my Steve Jobs. This morning I watched a montage of Dame Dash videos to start my day, and that's just like that. He's the one that feeds my spirit. So,
shout out to Dame.
Shouts to Dame. We praise every Dame.
I almost met Dame one time. True story. It's a long story, but I'll keep it short. Right when he was gonna dap me, someone called him, and he turned around.
That man.
I was palms are sweaty, mom spaghetti.
Damn.
All right, guys.
Hey, you know what he told me? I was like acting like a photographer, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm like,
he was my photographer.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, can I take a picture? And he just comes up to me and he whispers this. Just take the picture. That's it. I'm like, okay, say no more.
Love that guy. Yo. Listen, my goal is to create a conglomerate, a business. I'm saying it now so I can put it into the universe. Yes. Right. And when Dame is always going to be Dame. He's going to be an entrepreneur. He's going to get money. I want to give him an honorary seat at my board of directors, and whether he wants to participate or not, I will save a seat for him. This is like what Travis Scott, when he first started, he would always leave 2 tickets for Kid Cudi at every show he did.
No shit.
Since the beginning of his career, and now Kid Cudi's like best friends with Travis Scott, but he never came to any of his tours because he didn't even know who the fuck he was. This is my life goal for Dame Dash.
Yeah. And you got to put it out to manifest it.
Exactly. Put it to fruition.
And by the way, I want to say this before we go. Burnz, you need to get your flowers because you were the only person in the hood who had DJ equipment, produced music, wrote music, U2F. And I'll never forget, my brother dropped me off one time at his crib to just rock on his turntables because I wanted to be a DJ. And he let me cook, and I'll never forget that.
Absolutely, bro.
And you was like oxygen in a world that didn't really have it, and I appreciate you forever for
love,
that.
Brother. Thank you, bro. Like I said, you've made us beyond proud. You've taken the baton and you've taken it to the next level.
We're going to keep going.
Oh, yeah. And you're going to make sure our next generation
we ain't going to never stop.
As it should be. Real quick, let's get into the love song of the week. So every week we'll pick a love song. Not necessarily a love song. We'll pick a song that gives us some kind of emotional reaction. And since you was coming up, I feel like if I know you well, I feel like this is one of your jams. I know for sure it's one of my jams. Brother F got that lined up. This is the love song of the week. Nah.
I love it. Yo, I love Sean.
I knew it. Brother Shine, Barrington Levy, Bonnie and Shine.
No,
go ahead. No, you can talk over it.
I'm going to produce Dipset Hey Ma the musical because I believe that's one of the most beautiful love stories ever told in hip hop history.
There you go. The Jewels, You Only 18.
Yo, it's a love story, right? Can't you see it on Broadway? See, shorty, she was crazy, right? I approached lady like, Ma, what's your age and sight? Come on, let's go. I'm gonna make a musical out of it. Get Lin-Manuel Miranda on the phone.
We want to be there. Opening night.
I can show you what the 80s like.
It's a play, bro. It's a love story. It's Romeo and Juliet. All right, are we out? Are we good?
Yeah. Well, we still need a no. Hold on.
I love you, baby.
Love you, boy. You know how we do, man.
And my love to the fam.
As always, shout out to the Breath babies. Shout out to the Breath wives and dads. Shout out to Brother F, Straight Fuego Studio. Shout out to everybody in the building today. The fan, Rich, Brother Chi, Young Ho for coming through. Ash, my co-host VSOP.
We here, man. We doing it. Episode 53.
My co-host Bludshot.
Yo, thank you. It was a big honor, my brother, having you on the show. Yo, real quick, I know you're a big Jets fan. Are they getting Deshaun Watson or what?
Negative.
Now we want to hold it down for the second pick. We're going to take that option.
Say no more. All right. One love, baby. Yo.
Yo.
Miss y'all, man.
Emmanuel, quickly. Let's go Knicks. I'm out.
There you go. As always, carry yourself with honor, carry yourself with pride, chin up, chest out.
Don't be tough,
Somebody get my music.